Coach, how much will you move Farrell around in the offense? Then Coach probably going to double him. You just him in the wildcat move around.
Yeah, Corey got to move him around. Obviously, most teams will say when number 11 gets it, you know, we got to get one or two guys around him or what have you. But yeah, we'll move him all over the place. There'll be some in the wildcat. We'll put Nunez in there with him sometimes too. See what that does. But yeah, we got to get the ball to Farrell. He's also our returning leading passer. I don't know if you knew that or not, Josh. You did know that? He's thrown for more yards than anybody on the team right now. I don't know if any school in America can say that. A non-quarterback is the leading returning passer, but he is our leader right now. So I'm sure you guys knew that, but just filling in for you. Pleasure.
Did you guys spend any extra time on Gene Chizik this summer, or did you feel like you know what he's going to do defensively, that's not a big change for y'all?
Oh, we looked at a little Auburn tape when he was there and so forth, certainly. And I guess that's, what else could we do? we don't get their spring game tapes or anything like that. But yeah, Gene Chizik had an excellent career, especially as a defensive coordinator, and then gosh, he won a national championship as a head coach. And then what, 2 years later he was out. That tells you a little bit about coaching, Rick. And don't get into it unless you unless you think you got some security somewhere. But no, he's an excellent coach, Gene Chizik, and in fact he was on 2 straight undefeated teams. Had Auburn, I think, in like 03, something like that, and then Texas in 04 when they won the national championship. But there's only so many things you can do, and we're all trying to do the same things nowadays. The more you watch teams, the good ones anyway, the good ones play fundamentally sound and just try to put their players in position, let them play, and then they'll have some blitzes, some good blitzes that you gotta really think and know what you're doing to pick them up, of that nature. So hopefully we'll be ready for most anything, and if not, maybe a scramble play will be good. I had one of those guys that worked the IMG camp down in Bradenton, Florida, when Mike Davis was down there. He said, Coach, Mike Davis doesn't know pass protections real well. He said he didn't know da-da-da-da. And I said, well, let me tell you something. We're playing Florida, and they had a corner blitz, and he was supposed to scan the whole field, but he didn't see him. So he goes out and takes a left. Dillon's back there, does a little spin move, hits him going down the sideline for about 25 yards. Only play about we made the whole second half of the game against Florida, and we go and won the game. And was I supposed to say, Mike, you're supposed to get that corner blitz or go out for a pass? Well, the exact same thing happened against Miami in the bowl game. They brought the corner blitz. Dillon used that spin move and hit Mike for a touchdown right there in the second quarter. So I know you got to be smart back there as a running back. I mean, he has to scan this guy, that guy. And sometimes you just can't see him coming. So go out for a pass, catch it for a touchdown was a pretty good play. So anyway, sometimes I think we all worry too much about being exact on everything instead of just letting you guys go play as smart as you can, and make some plays with sometimes when the coaches don't have the exact perfect play on. And that's what Dillon and Mike did. A couple of big plays for the entire season last year. Entire season, those 2 plays.
We have a veteran kicker coming back. How do you feel about the kicking game and special teams?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Elliott Fry, he's one of the best in the country. He really is. He's clutch. He's good. I think we've got maybe a kickoff guy that can kick it out of the ballpark also. Charlton Joseph, yeah, he'll be with us. Local kid here. And our punter probably is going to be a young man, Sean Kelly. He's a walk-on player that's been with us now. And he's also an excellent holder for Elliott. So he could be taking Patrick Fish's place as our holder this year also.
Steve, has John Hope brought what you hope to the defense? so far?
Well, we hadn't played yet. You know that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, we hadn't played yet. Yeah, we hadn't played anybody yet. No, John and I were together, as all of you know, 3 years down in Florida. We led the conference last year in total defense, scoring defense. We both went to the NFL. He lasted 13 years and I lasted 2. So, but anyway, yeah, it's worked out. One of his daughters is enrolled here at South Carolina. Another one's at Arkansas, playing soccer there. So it was a good time that he was able to move. Kids are out of school, so he's flexible and ready to go. So yeah, we think we're going to be better coached all the way around. And I think it's good that Coach Ward and Coach Adams are working with the D-line and linebackers. We got 3 coaches with the front 7. I think last year we only had 2. But those D-line guys are important, as we know. And Deke's a heck of a coach. Had 2 All-Americans the year before. But we need a lot of eyes on those guys at all times. So we I think, strengthen our coaching staff in the front 7.
Brett?
What are a couple of the things that you want to see specifically on the defensive side of the ball where you guys need to improve from last year?
Well, did you watch us last year? Okay. Well, you know we gave up more yards than any team ever, but we've won 7 games somehow. Now we got to tackle. We got to be in position, and we got to be tougher up front. We got to tackle in the secondary. We got to take better angles when a guy breaks the line of scrimmage. I mean, that fullback for Furman, when he broke that one, we couldn't catch him either. So hopefully we can take a better angle and fullback up the middle won't go for 50 yards against us this year like it did last year. Things of that nature. But we should be much improved. All right, Chris.
Back on special teams, are you planning on taking Farrell off a punt return, or is that just something you got to wait and see what happens there?
That's another way of getting the ball to him. He's pretty good back there. Hopefully we can hold up, and hopefully all of us can help Coach Robinson a little bit better. I'm not sure we always had our best athletes on some of those special teams that we need to do, and we expect to cover kickoffs a lot better than we did early in the season last year. And so forth. But usually, if you have a very strong defense, your special teams will be very good also. A lot of the same guys usually play on both of them. Your DBs and linebackers should be on most of your special teams.
Go ahead.
Yes.
A few weeks ago, when you connected on the Florida plane to ESPN, at any time did you point out to Coach McElwain that for the past 2 Florida coaches, their final home game in the Swamp was a loss to Steve Spurrier?
I didn't know that. Man, you're telling me stuff I didn't know. That's unusual. No, we didn't talk about that. We did not talk about that. But it was somewhat of a miracle that we won that game last year. No, the first one, we were really ready that day. That was one of Marcus Lattimore's sensational games down there in the Swamp of 2010. But I think he's a good guy and a good coach, and I think they're going to be okay. Hopefully not too good too early. But who knows what can happen. He may have a better team than a lot of people think. Who knows? We may have a better team than a lot of people think. That's why we go play the games. That's why we play them. And we got a bunch of... I like that we're not picked too high. This time last year, and I remember we were talking about going to Atlanta, doing this, that, and the other. And we weren't talking that way after the Texas A&M game. No, we were saying, wow, man. Is there somebody out there we can beat right now? And fortunately, we played well enough to win 7, I guess, and could have won some others, but we didn't. So we think we got a very competitive team. That's about as much as I'm willing to predict. A very competitive team against everybody we play. Okay? All right.